I found a very cool tool that can add some basic animation and depth to your still drawings and photos. I want to show you what that tool is and how to use it on today's episode of the Expat Animator. Hey, it's Patrick. Welcome back to my Expat Animator series, where my goal is to help beginners, hobbyists, and independent animators create 2D animations. In today's video, we'll discuss the new LeiaPix technology. So let's get into it. I recently said that I want to talk about AI getting into animation. Yes, there are reasons to both love and hate AI, but today's tool is worth taking a look at for the following reasons. 1. This tool can transform 2D images into 3D depth animations like this one. 2. It can add some basic animation to your still drawings like this example. And 3. You can try it now for free. Have you used LeiaPix yet? Has anyone been using it in their 2D animation workflow? Let me know in the comments below. So let's not waste any more time and let's take a look at how to use LeiaPix. Okay, so here is the website for LeiaPix.com. It's LeiaPix.com. And you can see right here on the homepage an example of how this is going to work. It's basically taking a still image and it's giving it 3D depth and animating it. So this is just cookies. I'm just going to allow this. You probably need to sign up or sign in if you already have an account. I'm going to go ahead and sign in because I have an account. So it looks here like on December 22nd of 2023, they released version 2.5. A couple of things that they're saying here are we've got some free export options at 720p. And then they work on like a credit system here. So if you want an MP4 video animation, it's going to be 50 credits. A GIF animation is 50 credits. A PNG depth map is 30 credits, and so on. You can kind of navigate and see what their prices are. But what we want to do here is we just want to upload an image. So click that. Let me go bring in here an image. This is an image of my Trep poster. So let's see what it does with this. So I'm going to upload that. It says right here, depth animation is being created. And it shouldn't take too long here. And you can see on the right side, they've got some ads. Once this is done, if you look up here on the right corner, you can see how many credits that you've got left. And I think they give you like 500 credits when you get a free account. So I've used this a few times. So what you can see here is it's creating some animation with the elements in the image. And what you can do here is you can click over here on the depth map and it's showing you can zoom in and out for more detailed view. And this gives a little directions on the depth map. But what you can see here is it's kind of putting in the whiter color is like the thing's going to be closest to the camera. And the darker colors are going to be further back from the camera. So it's basically analyzing with AI your image and determining what is going to have the most depth as far as closeness to and from the camera. And this depth map kind of shows you that. So you can kind of faintly see the Trep logo here. And it's using this information to create the animation. So there's some sliders here where you can make some adjustments. But I want to go into the animation style option here. And you can see we can make the animation right now. It's at a perspective. So it's kind of going every which way. If I just want it to move horizontal, I would click this. And then he's just moving back and forth here. We can do a wide circle. Gives you something similar to perspective. There's other options here. So mess around and see what kind of animation that you like. And once you have the animation that you like chosen, then you can go to amount of motion here. And I like if you slide it to less, then you're going to get more of a subtle movement. And if you slide it to the more, it's really starting to warp the image. So depending on what your image is, you might want to mess around with the amount of motion. And then the animation length is something else that we could take a look at. Is if I pull this to short, it's almost more of a fast motion. And if we pull it to long, it's more of a slow motion of the animation. There's some other things you can change here, like focus point, edge dilation, and then there's an advanced editor. And I'll let you kind of mess around with that, but these are the these are the options that I use when I'm making an image here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my animation length just to normal, and motion amount, I'm going to pick something around there. Well, I'm probably going to go with less because it's kind of distorting my image here. And then once you're ready, you can either export or share your image. So if I click export, you can see that the free option here is at 720p. And if you want a larger image for your project, you can get up to a 4K size here, and you can change your options here from there's a GIF option and some other options here. You can see this is going to charge me 50 credits. And then there's also a package export here for 100 credits, which gives you, a bunch of different options all at once. And if you run out of credits, you can buy more credits here. So if I just want the free version here for now, I'm going to hit save, and it's not going to cost me any credits for this. But again, this is a lower resolution file, but I just want to show you how the process works here. So you're going to get an ad while it's exporting, and then we'll eventually get our file. So I'm going to have to allow this download. And then it says, congratulations, download's complete. If I want to upload a new image, I can just click here. I'm going to upload another image. This time I want to upload an actual photo. So let me bring in this image of my dog here. And I just want to show the difference between a still drawing being used here or a photograph, because it's basically going to do the same techniques, but we're going to get a little bit of different result. So you can see it's basically taking a still photograph and giving it depth. You can see, look at the mouth here is covering over part of the fence in the background. So you can see there's actual movement and depth they're making layers here with the image. So let's go ahead and look at that depth map again. And you can see this is kind of what it's doing in the background. It knows that the nose here is the closest to the camera, so it's getting that brightest white. And then the further back we go, we're getting a darker shades of gray until, stuff in the background here is really dark. And that's kind of just how it works. And then it's taking this information and it's adding animation to it. So let's go ahead and choose an animation style here. And I might just go side to side here. And then let's choose amount of motion. I'm going to swing it all the way to the other side here so we can see. You can see the nose is actually overlapping the eye here. There's some really cool techniques that they're using, and I think it gives pretty cool effect. And so anyway, don't forget to mess around with your settings here. Short's going to make it too fast. Long is going to be, I kind of like this for a photograph where it's almost like you're looking at a photograph, but there's a little bit of movement in it. And again, we can change the focus point from far to close. So there's some things to mess around with in here. And then once we're ready, if we can either export it to our computer or we can share it so that we go straight to things like social media. So you can see here, we can copy a link or we can share it to a couple of social media sites here. Now, I just want to export this again, and I'll just do the free option here and save that out. So again, this is the process, and I'm going to do one more quick example just to show another example with an image. So I'm going to bring in a still frame from my traveling gringo animation next. And basically, so I just click the logo to get to the upload option. And let's go ahead and bring in this image here from Traveling Gringos. And again, this is just a still from the animation, but we're going to use this to create a little bit of animation. And there is a full screen button here, which is kind of interesting. And you'll notice that it's cropping in, it's cropping our logo here, it's cropping his head. So it's cropping in to get this image that we've got here. But let's go ahead and take one more quick look at the depth map. And you can see it thinks that the stairs here are the closest thing to the camera. So again, I'm going to choose my animation style. And for this, I might want to do vertical. That's kind of a cool thing here. It's almost like the camera's rising up and down, and we're seeing more of the stairs here. And then I'm going to choose, let's just mess around with the animation length. We can slow it down or we can speed it up. This is almost kind of giving us like an earthquake type of effect. So let's go ahead and export that and save that out. And so we just quickly made 3 different animated images from some stills that we've got. You know, and we can use these in a variety of ways. So I'm going to hide here LeiaPix, and I'm going to go look at those files that we just created. So here is the first one with Trip. And again, this one, if we want to watch it loop here, I'm going to open it up in QuickTime, and we'll loop this, and then I'll hit play. And you can see we're getting the LeiaPix logo here because we're using the free version. If you use your credits, you won't get that. And so the motion on this is a little less subtle, but the logo being so far in the background is getting the most movement here. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of our other ones here. And I'm going to loop this. And so this is cool because we could almost use this in our animations. You know, say if there was an earthquake happening or something, I could put this in as like a 2-second clip or something into my animation, add some, you know, earthquake sound effects on top of it. And, you know, we really didn't have to do much work to get this shot done. And let's take a final look at the photograph. And let me just loop that, and I'll go full screen on that. And, you know, the effect that this does, I've never really seen this before. You know, I'm sure there's other tools that can do this, but for a free version, this is really cool. I've used this for some of my other projects. So depending on what you need, this can be a nice tool to have that you rely on when you need to add some quick animation to some stills or some drawings that you've got. I should just say this is not sponsored. This is just a tool I found and wanted to share with everybody. So hopefully this gives you something to think about, and I'm having a lot of fun with this tool. If there's other tools out there that are similar that you guys like, let me know in the comments and I'll take a look at that too. So if this is something you think would be interesting for your animation workflow, go ahead and give LeiaPix a try today. If you found this useful, click the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe. Click this video for more animation tips. Leave any questions you have in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and keep on animating.